put a message,
Yeah, just put a reminder. So anyway, so some of that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyabhadhi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. If you are in a position to read today, please kindly raise your hand so I can pick the devotees appropriately. Okay. Manjula Mataji. Let me share the screen. Then Satish Prabhu, Lalita, Preeti. Okay, that's fine. So I'll bring up the screen. So today we will be looking at the 18th chapter of 4th canto, entitled Prithu Maharaja Milks the Earth Planet. So Manjula Mataji, if you can read, kindly read first 11 verses of this chapter, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Prithu Maharaj milks the earth planet. The great saint Maitreya continued to address Vidura. My dear Vidura, at that time, after the planet Earth finished her prayers, King Prithu was still not pacified, and his lips trembled in great anger. Although the planet Earth was frightened, she made up her mind and began to speak as follows in order to convince the king. My dear Lord, please pacify your anger completely and hear patiently whatever I admit before you. Please turn your kind attention to this. I may be very poor, but a learned man takes the essence of knowledge from all places, just as a bumblebee collects honey from each and every flower. To benefit all human society, and not only in this life but in the next, the great sages and seers have prescribed various methods conducive to the prosperity of the people in general. One who follows the principles and instructions enjoined by the great sages of the past can utilize these instruments for practical purposes. Such a person can very easily enjoy life and pleasures. A foolish person who manufactures his own ways and means through mental speculation and does not recognize the authority of the sages who lay down unimpeachable directions is simply unsuccessful again and again in his attempts. My dear king, the seeds, roots, herbs, and grains which were created by Lord Brahma in the past are now being used by non-devotees who are devoid of all spiritual understanding. My dear king, not only are grains and herbs being used by non-devotees, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm not being properly maintained. Indeed, I am being neglected by kings who are not punishing these rascals who have turned into thieves by using grains for sense gratification. Consequently, I have hidden all these seeds which are meant for the performance of sacrifice. Due to being stocked for a long time, all the grain seeds within me have certainly deteriorated. Therefore, you should immediately arrange to take the seeds out by the standard process, which is recommended by the acharyas or shastras. O great hero, protector of living entities, if you desire to relieve the living entities by supplying them sufficient grain, and if you desire to nourish them by taking milk from me, you should make arrangements to bring a calf suitable for this purpose and a pot in which the milk can be kept, as well as a milkman to do the work. Since I will be very affectionate towards my calf, your desire to milk from me will be fulfilled. My dear king, may I inform you that you have to make the entire surface of the globe level. This will help me even when the rainy season has ceased. Rainfall comes by the mercy of King Indra. Rainfall will remain on the surface of the globe, always keeping the earth moistened, and thus it will be auspicious for all kinds of production. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Manjula Mataji. And also thanks everyone for tuning in today. So in the previous chapter, chapter 17, so we entitled Pruthumara becomes angry at the earth. So we had discussed this in the last session. And in that session, Vidura made various inquiries to Maitreya Muni regarding Prutu. How King Prutu milked the planet Earth in the form of cow, and how did he make an even Earth flat? How did he meet Sanat Kumar? And how, why did Indra stole Prutu Maharaj's arse? Please kindly explain me, because Prutu is an incarnation, empowered incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Hearing his pastimes is very beneficial. So when Vidura said, Maitreya got excited and he started narrating. So once upon a time, citizens came to Prutu Maharaj and said that they are starving because there were not enough food grains. Earth was not producing enough food grains. So Prutu Maharaj then, became angry at Earth, and he took a bow and arrow, and looking at Prutu Maharaj, Earth took the form of cow and started running, but Maharaj Prutu chastised the cow, Earth in the form of cow, and wherever she went, she could not escape, and at last, she spoke to Prutu Maharaj saying that there is no fault of mine, and why do you want to chastise me and kill me? Because I am holding everyone on my planet Earth, and if the planet Earth is broken into pieces, everybody will fall into the Garbhodaka ocean underneath, and I'm sinless, so I have no fault. And then, however, Prutu Maharaj says, no, you were taking the share when when we are performing the sacrifice, but in return you are not returning anything, just like a cow eats green grass but doesn't produce enough milk. And later Mother Earth offered prayers to Prutu, glorifying him, that that is the incarnation of the Supreme Personality Godhead. And as a continuation, in continuation, the earth, um, you know, started to speak in this chapter again. Let's see. So after earth offered the prayers, King Prutu was still not pacified. He was still angry because whatever the reasons he mentioned, he felt were not appropriate. So looking at King Prutu, so Mother Earth said, please listen to me, and kindly pacify your anger and hear patiently what I have to submit. This the famous verse: a learned man takes the essence of knowledge from all places, just as bumblebee collects honey from each and every flower. So this phrase is very important. You can make a note of that. This is in the second text. Yes, second text of this chapter. So she's telling, my dear Lord, learned man, you are a learned man. Every learned man, they take the essence, they take the knowledge from all places, just as bumblebee collects honey from each and every flower. So please, you are also learned man. Please listen. So we should be, as devotees, we should be like a bumblebee. We should be collecting good from every place, wherever we go. That is the quality of a devotee, because there will be faults everywhere. This Kali Yuga is compared to ocean of faults, Kalir Doshaniti, ocean of faults. But, we should follow in the footsteps of wise men and take the essence, take the good from everything and every place, from everyone. The bumblebee, the housefly, it does the opposite. Wherever there is dirt, it goes and takes the dirt from that place. And then, excuse me. And then she says the real reason here. My dear king, the seeds, roots, herbs, and grains, which were earlier created by Lord Brahma in the past, are now being used by non-devotees and who are devoid of all spiritual understanding. So this is one of the reasons she had given now. So she was not happy that the non-devotees are using the roots, herbs, and grains and seeds, etc. So that's why she was not happy. Let's read a little bit of this purport. So Lalita Preeti, are you in a position to read?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. So just first paragraph, if you can kindly read this purport.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Lord Brahma created this material world for the use of the living entities. But it was created according to a plan that all living entities who might come into it to dominate it for sense gratification would be given directions by Lord Brahma in the Vedas in order that they might ultimately leave it and return home back to Godhead. All necessities grown on earth, namely fruits, flowers, trees, grains, animals, and animal byproducts, were created for use in sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. However, the planet Earth, in the shape of cow, shape of a cow, herein submits that all these utilities are being used by non devotees who have no plans for the spiritual understanding. Although there are immense potencies within the earth for the production of grains, fruits, and flowers, this production is checked by the earth itself when it is misused by non devotees who have no spiritual goals. Everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and everything can be used for His satisfaction. Things should not be used for sense gratification of living entities. This is the whole plan of material nature, according to the directions of this material nature.
Thank you. Prabhupada nicely summarizes. So here, Mother Earth submits to Prithu Maharaj, saying that no, the essential ingredients are being used by the non-devotees, and that's why she decided not to supply. Prabhupada gives a very nice explanation. All the necessities, that we need are produced from the earth. So, and they should be, because they are coming from the nature is acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Krishna says in the Gita 9:10, chapter 9, text 10, Mayadhyakshena Prakruti Suyate Sacharacharam. Under my supervision, the material nature is producing both moving and non-moving beings. It is producing everything. It is not acting independently, but the material nature is acting under the supervision of the Lord. Krishna says in the 9th chapter of Gita. So the point here, Prabhupada clearly mentioned that the ingredients, they should be used for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. But the non-devotees, they use for the sense gratification. Prabhupada also mentioned everything belongs to the Supreme God. Yes, everything can be used for His satisfaction. Things should not be used for sense gratification of the living entities. This is the whole plan of material nature according to the directions of this material nature. What a beautiful purport. So whatever the food grains are also coming, everything that we have should be offered in the service of the Lord. That is devotion. Simply, if we do not offer and use it for our own purposes, it will bind us. So food is one of the best example that it is said in the Gita as well, and in the 3rd chapter, that if the food grains are supplied by the nature through Krishna, through demigods, and if they don't offer this back to Krishna, they are considered to be a thief. So that's why we offer everything. Devotees offer everything to Lord Krishna. So, and next in the text 7, she also mentioned not only the grains and herbs are being used by non-devotees, but she said the Mother Earth tells that she was not properly maintained, and she was neglected by the kings, and there were so many thieves also. That's why I have hidden all of these in me. So earlier, indirectly, she is pointing at King Vana. So she's telling King Prithu, your father, King Vana, so who was a very bad king, and he was very cruel. And what else he did? He stopped the ritualistic performances of the sacrifices, and worship of the Supreme Lord. And after he was killed by the sages, just by uttering the words, there was some time when there was no king at all, no ruler at all. Then there was many thieves. They were misusing the resources. So as a result of that, then I just hidden all of them in me. And so now she tells, they're in me. Kindly, please arrange to, extract this, the process through the standard process recommended by the acharyas and shastras. So there is a yogic process or a mystic process with which all various things can be extracted from Mother Earth. So, and then she tells that for this purpose, we need a calf, and we need a pot, and we need a milkman. And when there is calf, then I will be more fond of my calf, and then I will produce the necessary things. So milkman is required, calf and pot, 3 things are required. So please arrange suitable means and extract the hidden necessities from me. And also she says that kindly level the earth surface so that the rainy water can stay on the surface and moisten, and this will be very auspicious and good for all kinds of production. So that's what Mother Earth tells. And now we will move on to the next section from 12 to 28. Here we can see in this section various people becomes calf, and they extract various ingredients. We can see all these different things now. So Satish Prabhu, if you're in a position to read, if you can go ahead and read 12 to 28.
Sure, Prabhu. Yeah. Text 12. After hearing the auspicious and pleasing words of the planet Earth, the king accepted them. He then transformed Swayambhuva Manu into a calf and milked all the herbs and grains from the earth in the form of a cow, keeping them in his cupped hands. Text 13. Others who were as intelligent as King Prithu also took the essence out of the earthly planet. Indeed, everyone took this opportunity to follow in the footsteps of King Prithu and get whatever he desired from the planet Earth. Text 14. All the great sages transformed Brihaspati into a cow, and making the senses into a pot, they milked all kind of Vedic knowledge to purify words, mind, and hearing. Text 15. All the demigods made Indra, the king of heaven, into a calf, and from the earth they milked the beverage soma, which is nectar. Thus they became very powerful in mental speculation and bodily and sensual strength. Text 16. The sons of Diti and the demons transformed Prahlada Maharaja, who was born in an Asura family, into a calf, and they extracted various kinds of liquor and beer, which they put into a pot made of iron. Text 17. The inhabitants of Gandharva Loka and Apsara Loka made Vishwasavasu into a calf. They drew the milk into a lotus flower pot. The milk took the shape of sweet musical art and beauty. Text 18. The fortunate inhabitants of Pitraloka, who preside over the funeral ceremonies, made Aryama into a calf. With great faith, they milked Kavya, would offer to the ancestors, into an unbaked earthen pot. Text 19. After this, the inhabitants of Siddhaloka as well as the inhabitants of Vidyardhaloka transformed the great sage Kapila into a calf, and the whole sky into a pot. They milked out specific yogic, mystic powers, beginning with anima. Indeed, the inhabitants of Vidyardhaloka acquired the art of flying in the sky. Next 20. Others also, the inhabitants of planets known as Kimpurusha Loka, made the demon Maya into a calf, and they milked out mystic powers by which one can disappear immediately from another's vision and appear again in a different form. Text 21. Then the Ikshas, Rakshasas, ghosts, and witches who are habituated to eating flesh transformed Lord Shiva's incarnation, Rudra, into a calf and milked out beverages made of blood and put them in a pot made of skulls. Text 22. Thereafter, cobras and snakes without hoods, large snakes, scorpions, and many other poisonous animals took poison out of the planet Earth as their milk and kept their poison in snake holes. They made a calf out of Rakshaka. Text 23-24. The four-legged animals like the cows made a calf out of the bull who carries Lord Shiva and made it out of the forest. Thus they got fresh green grasses to eat. Ferocious animals like tigers transformed a lion into a calf. Thus they were able to get flesh for milk. The birds made a calf out of Garuda and took milk from the planet Earth in the form of moving insects and non-moving plants and grasses. Text 25. The trees made a calf out of the banyan tree. Thus they derived milk in the form of many delicious juices. The mountains transformed the Himalayas into a calf, milked a variety of minerals into a pot made of the peaks of hills. Text 26. The planet Earth supplied everyone his respective food. During the time of King Prithu, the earth was fully under the control of the king. Thus, all the inhabitants of the earth could get their food supply by creating various types of cows and putting their particular types of milk in various pots. My dear Vidura, chief of the Kurus, in this way, King Prithu and all others who subsist on food created different types of cows and milked out their respective eatables. Thus, they received their various foodstuffs, which were symbolized as milk. Text 28. Thereafter, King Prithu was very much satisfied with the planet Earth, for she sufficiently supplied all food to various living entities. Thus, he developed an affection for the planet Earth, just as if she were his own daughter. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, following the advice of Mother Earth in the form of cow, first King Prithu. So he transformed Swayambhuva Manu, the first Manu in this day of Brahma, into calf, and he used his hands as pot, and he milked, and what did he take out? Herbs and grains. That's what he did. And then sages transformed Bruhaspati into calf, and they milked Vedic hymns, and they used the senses as pots. So Prabhupada was mentioning that the best Vedic hymn is Hare Krishna mantra for this age. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Meva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyadaha. So only Harinam, only Harinam, only Harinam, or nothing else can work in this age of Kali. That is the best Vedic hymn. And then demigods, they transformed Indra into calf, and they milked Somarasa, and they stored that in golden pot. So Prabhupada gives a little bit of purport about Somarasa. Soma means moon, and it is produced. The Soma Rasa is produced on the moon planet usually. It's like a nectar, and by drinking the Somarasa, they gained a lot of strength, and as well as their senses becomes more perfect. So the moon, also, just on a side note, that moon supplies all the medicinal properties to the plants and herbs. When we eat fruit, leafy vegetables, or any vegetable, there is a medicinal value to that vegetable or fruit. So these are actually being derived by the moon rays, moonshine. Krishna says in the Gita, 15:13, I think, 15:13. So just let me. Gama vishya bhutani darayamyaham bojasa pushnami shauchadi sarva somo bhutva rasatmika. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. So the demigods had extracted this somarasa, and in contrary, the demons, they extracted liquor. They extracted the liquor and beer. So, and they kept it in iron pot. Somarasa was kept stored in golden pot, and the liquor was kept in iron pot. Prabhupada mentions that there is a gulf of difference between the somarasa, that juice that was extracted by the demigods, and liquor that was extracted by the demons. So Prabhupada also comments that those who are demonic in nature, they try to consume the liquor, and actually which will cause issues. So later, Gandharvas and Apsarasas, they extracted musical art and beauty, and the Pitrus, ancestors, they extracted the food that can be offered to the ancestor. Siddhas extracted the mystic potencies, Siddhis, Anima, Mahima, Lagima, becoming lighter than the lightest, heavier than the heaviest. And Vidyadharas extracted the art of flying, and Kimpurushas extracted mystic power of disappearing at will. Yakshas, Rakshasas, Bhutas, and Pishasas, they extracted beverages made of blood. And that's what they drink. They eat the blood and flesh. They survive. Snakes and scorpions extracted poison. Cattle extracted grass. Carnivorous extracted the flesh. Birds extracted insects and fruits. Trees extracted delicious juices. Mountains extracted minerals. So the earth supplied all the necessities. In this way, different people had extracted different things, as per their desire. So the planet Earth supplied everyone their respective food. And also, Prutu was very satisfied, as the earth supplied abundant food grains going forward. So he considered Mother Earth to be his own daughter. Yeah, so we have a short section left now, just 4 verses. Anupama Radhika Mataji, can you read from 29 to 32, please?
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So just give me 1 second, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Text 29. After this, the king of all kings, Maharaja Prithu, leveled all rough places on the surface of the globe by breaking up the hills with the strength of his bow. By his grace, the surface of the globe almost became flat. To all the citizens of the state, King Prithu was as good as a father. Thus, he was visibly engaged in giving them proper substance and proper employment for subsistence. After leveling the surface of the globe, he earmarked different places for residential quarters inasmuch as they were desirable. Text 31. In this way, the king founded many types of villages, settlements, and towns, and built forts, residences for cowherdsmen, stables for animals, places for the royal camps, mining places, agricultural towns, and mountain villages. Text 32. Before the reign of King Prithu, there was no planned arrangement for different cities, villages, pasturing grounds, etc. Everything was scattered, and everyone constructed his residential quarters according to his own convenience. However, from the time of King Prithu, plans were made for towns and villages. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So kindly, if you can read the purport, short purport for the text that you read.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. From this statement, it appears that town and city planning is not new, but has been coming down since the time of King Prithu. In India, we can see regular planning methods evident in very old cities. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many descriptions of such ancient cities. Even 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna's capital, Dwarka, was well planned, and similar other cities, Mathura and Hastinapur, now New Delhi, were all also well planned. Thus, the planning of cities and towns is not a modern innovation, but was existing in the bygone ages. Thus ends the chapter. Thank you, Prabhu.
You're on mute, like.
Yeah, so after this, this extraction by various people, various ingredients, King Prithu leveled the surface of earth, all where possible, by breaking up the hills with his bow. So almost became flat, and later King Prithu was acting as a father for all his citizens, provided employment, and he looked after his citizens, and he created this villages, and and built forts, residents, stables for animals. All arrangements were made. So different cities and villages were also planned by King Prithu, and everyone constructed residential quarters according to their own convenience. So thus ends this chapter. It's a small chapter again. So in this chapter is entitled Maharaj Prutu milks the earth planet. So in continuation from the previous chapter, after offering prayers, King Prutu was still not pacified. And then Mother Earth kindly put forward a petition saying that, oh my Lord, please listen to me. Every intelligent person, every learned man takes the essence from every places. Although I may be poor, you may be chasing me, but you are an intelligent person. Please kindly take the essence from me, what I have to say. Please listen. And then she tells, the reasons why she was hiding all the necessities in her. Two reasons she mentions, two, three reasons. Number one is all the food, grains, and seeds and herbs, roots were used by non-devotees. They're misusing it. Ideally, these should be used for the pleasure of the Lord. They should be used in the sacrifice. Non-devotees are exploiting these things. Also, your father, King Vena, was a cruel king. He did not look after me well, and his after his disappearance, there were thieves all over. As a result of that, I have hidden all these things in me, and you have to extract these things from me by making someone into calf and someone as a milkman, so that various necessities can be extracted. And also she requested that King Prutu should also level the surface of entire earth, so that the rain water can remain on the surface, and the earth can be moistened, which will be good for production. So after this, King Prutu transformed Swayambhu Manu into calf and milked the herbs and grains. And like this, various people, as we had seen, extracted various necessities from Mother Earth. And, and after that, Earth started producing all the necessities for the citizens, and King Prutu was also looking after the citizens as a father, and he provided sufficient employment as well, and he considered Mother Earth to be his own daughter. Later on, King Prutu leveled up the Earth planet almost flat. And then there was planning for the cities and villages, and for various other places, stables, even for animals to live as well. These residents were planned later on. So that's how this chapter ends. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Prabhuji, so the Gandharvas and Apsaras, where do they live? I thought they lived in Indralok.
Exactly, I can't pinpoint, but they are higher planetary system. Yeah, so you are thinking that they just live on the heavenly planet with Indra?
Yes, Prabhuji. And if so, then why are they coming to Earth? Because I thought, Earth only was utilized by the inhabitants of Earth. I felt like the heavenly planets have their own resources. Similarly, even Patal Lok, why would it depend on Earth? because the demons would be in Patal Lok. So that is where my question is coming from, Prabhuji.
Good question. So the earth, I hope I had mentioned this many times. The earth that we are seeing is only a small fraction of the bigger earth planet. Are you aware of that, isn't it, Purnamataji?
I'm sorry, Prabhuji, I might have missed that aspect.
Okay, so the earth that we are living is a small fraction of the bigger earth planet. Yeah.
Okay.
So we, yeah. So,
yeah.
And the other portion of the earth that we do not have access to it. Earlier, at the time of Maharaj Parikshit, Maharaj Yudhishthir, they used to go to the other portions of the earth. We do not have access now because of Kali Yuga. But some of these demons and demigods, they also live in the other parts of the earth, which is considered to be heaven. In the other parts of the earth, people live up to 10,000 years. It's earth, but it's a heaven on the earth. Yeah, we do not have access to it. So when Prithu Maharaj was ruling, he was ruling the entire earth, not just the planet that we are living on now. So there were demons and various demigods were living. So it happened at that time.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Interesting. Yeah, interesting to know. Where can I read more about this?
This will come in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay.
This will come in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. You can try and read as well. Yeah, so there is a heavenly earth as well. In that portions of the land, they live minimum 10,000 years. There is always Treta Yuga for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there is always Treta Yuga. Only in our portion, there are, in Jambudvipa, in the Jambudvipa, there are 9 portions. We are in the 9th portion, but the 9th portion is also divided into 9 portions. Only in the 9th portion, the 4 yugas exist: Satya, Dwapara. Ideally, this is the order: Satya, Dwapara, then Treta, then Kali Yuga. Only in that portion, Bharata Varsha, it is called Bharata Varsha. And in other parts of the earth, it is always 10,000 years they live in. There is no Kali Yuga for them.
Oh, so we are in UK. There is no Kali Yuga for us. Though, I mean, it's very well present everywhere. But just thinking, Prabhuji, thinking aloud.
Yeah, we are in Kali Yuga now, even if we are in Earth, UK. We are actually, everywhere it is same, whether it is India or in UK or anywhere, it's the same. Everyone is catching up.
Yeah,
yes,
true.
Manjula Mataji.
Prabhu, did I hear right that the cycle is Satyuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and then Kali Yuga?
You heard it right.
Okay. Thank you.
Only this year, only this time it overlapped. Only this time in the 28th cycle, sorry, I'm complicating, but yeah, so only in the 28th cycle is running now. Only in the 28th cycle, a Treta came before the Dwapar.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I can send you the reference.
May I?
Or you can read first canto, chapter 4.
May I ask a question, please?
Sure, Ramsini Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Just a couple of queries, actually. The Lord Chaitanya's golden age, is that also occurring in that changeover of what you said, the Dwarka and the Tetra? Because that doesn't always happen either, does that?
Say it again. Lord Chaitanya's golden age
Golden
is only
age, yeah,
for us, not
in
for
Kali
others.
Yuga. In Kali
Only in
Yuga,
Kali Yuga for next 5,000 years.
but it doesn't happen in every Kali Yuga. That was what I was wondering.
Not in every Kali Yuga, you're right. Not in every Kali Yuga. It is said that Krishna comes only once in a day of Brahma. Yes, only once in a day of Brahma. And that is followed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also comes once in a day of Brahma.
Right, thank you. And then
That's how I understood. That's how I understood from the scriptures. But if you have a different information, please let me know.
No, I have none. Just little things that jumped into my mind. There was another query, but I've forgotten it, so I'll find out.
Okay. Right.
Okay. I do have a query.
Yeah, go on. Today we have more time for queries.
please don't laugh if it's a stupid one.
No. Only the answers are stupid. Questions are never stupid.
Okay. So we've been told, I'm hearing a lot that, Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of, or is something that we all need to be following to be a devotee path.
So
but I see
sometimes I think sometimes we are losing your voice.
Okay. So is it better now? Okay.
Better now, yeah.
So as we are here, my understanding is as a devotee, one has to read and recite Srimad Bhagavatam. But I see here the Krishna birth and his pastimes don't even come until Canto 10. Mm-hmm. So what is the reason of knowing about various kings and other personalities when the Supreme Personality is saying no more about my pastimes? I was a bit confused on this. So I thought
I'll tell you, no problem. Say, in our, we take, if someone is, in our body, which is most important? Which part of the body is most important, you think? Head.
It's tough to say.
Like head,
Yeah, okay.
People consider head.
Yeah, true.
But if I want to serve you, I can massage your feet as well. Right?
Okay.
So if I massage your feet, am I not serving you?
Yes,
I am serving.
Yeah.
So, okay. So now we come back to your question with that analogy. All these kings, and they are related to Krishna, the devotees of Krishna. They are devotees. Actually, Bhagavatam means it's about devotees. Of course, Lord also comes whenever devotees comes. So there, because these incarnations, if you see, Prithu Maharaj is an incarnation of Lord Krishna. So if you hear about him, it is also hearing about Krishna, Krishna's expansion. Krishna doesn't mean on its own. Krishna means his expansions, his devotees, and his holy dham.
Okay.
That includes, if you just go to holy dham, that means that is included. The holy dham is also part of Krishna. Devotees are part of Krishna. Also, by hearing the saintly, about the devotees, you know how we should behave. Yes, how devotees rule. Say, for example, we read Dhruva Maharaj pastime. We come to know how Dhruva Maharaj attained success. We learn so many lessons from the lives of devotees. If you want to become a devotee, actually read about devotees, actually look into the life of a devotee. Then we come to know. When Dhruva Maharaj had an issue, he transformed that issue into opportunity. He went to a forest and then, practiced bhakti yoga under the guidance of spiritual master Narada Muni, and he perfected his life. So there are so many lessons. Everything is connected to Krishna. So King Prithu, especially King Prithu, is a great personality that we would see in the next chapter, actually. How he receives Sanat Kumar. And also he's an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So all these kings, they are devotees, they're related to Krishna, and some of them are expansions of Krishna.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Does it answer your question?
Yeah. I was literally taking from the day Krishna is born as the start, but as you clarified, it's the incarnations of Krishna.
Yeah. Actually, there is. If I want to say something, it is said. Okay, we have 1 more minute. I can quote one verse. Once Mother Parvati asked Lord Shiva, and what is considered to be the best worship? And Lord Shiva answers, Aradhananam Sarvesham Vishnur Aradhanam Param. Among all the worships, the worship of Lord Vishnu is the topmost. However, he says, Tasmat Parataram Devi, there is even greater than that. There is something greater than worshipping of Lord Vishnu. He says, Tadiyanam Samarcharam. Worshipping of his devotees is considered to be greater than worship of Lord Vishnu. So Dhruva Maharaj, we are talking, means he's a devotee. So when we hear about his devotees, then Krishna gets very much excited. Yes, just like if I talk about your son Veda, or you like to hear that very much. And you love me. If I love Veda, you love me so much, don't you? Similarly, when we are talking about Dhruva Maharaj, when we are talking about King Anga, and when we are talking about Prithu Maharaj, so Lord Krishna gets excited. Okay, Prabhu?
Prabhu, thank you very much. Yeah, makes
I just remembered my question, if I can.
Sure, Hamsini Mataji, yes.
I do
No
apologize.
problem.
It's really fascinating.
No apologies, please.
Saying, but no, the questions. It was to do with when you said the larger Earth. My query was, Prabhupada had said that the Earth was both round and flat, and that made me wonder whether you might be able to help me to, because it's a question often somebody believes very ferociously in flat Earth.
Absolutely.
And I wondered whether it was to do with that.
I know you asked this question before also, but I contemplated. I think, if you, this is my understanding, based on this Pavaneshwara Prabhu, I sent you that video. He had done, videos on Vedic cosmology. I think if you look at from the pole star, it looks probably flat.
Right.
So, the Vedic statement, see, when we read, because when we use our senses, we only see part of it. We will not be able to see the full picture.
Yeah.
And actually, the entire earth, not only our earth is somehow or other connected to the other earth, which we do not have access to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what Sumedha is telling is right. Our earth is spherical shape, but the entire Bhumandala is flat. But when the Bible says, earth is flat, it could be entire Bhumandala. Yes.
It makes sense. It does really. Yeah. And also when we were talking about the spherical shape of the Earth, it wasn't a planet. It's actually, it was described as, I think what you're teaching that you showed me, that it's actually a round shape, but something quite fixed at the bottom.
Exactly. So it's fixed. It's fixed to the other part of the Bhumandala. And the entire thing is actually held by a Shesha at the bottom. The expansion of, Lord Shesha, there is, a serpent. Yeah, it is held at the bottom.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that will come in the 5th canto. When we read 5th canto, we
It
will
just
get
helps
more.
with people that are quite fixed that it's flat Earth theory. I mean, they're understanding it from a mundane position, but I
Yeah,
had
then
put that across. But it makes sense of how to put it for myself. Thank you.
We see the thing is, we don't have full information of it. We don't have access to the other things, so we will only see part of it, and we'll just come to some kind of conclusion. So that's why, accepting the scripture as it is a good idea. We can put some questions, submissive inquiries, but we never know the full picture. As a scientist, as a material scientist, yeah, because our senses are limited. We have 4 defects now. We are 4 defects. Our senses are limited. We have a cheating propensity, like that. There are various. We have, limited in our understanding.
Thank you.
Okay, so good session with so many questions. So thank you very much, everyone. And Krishna willing, we shall see you all in the new year. Until then, have a great time. And maybe in the new year, read more Bhagavatam. I'll come up with a plan for everyone. And then probably, maybe, I'm thinking all of you can just read 1 chapter translations every day. 1 chapter translation doesn't take much time. Only translation. I'm not saying that you should not read purports, but initially to get the overview, bird's eye view of the Srimad Bhagavatam, you can just read the translations, 1 chapter every day, or you can hear the chapter translation. There is Amala Bhaktadas audio as well. You can just hearing takes, like, while driving, while cooking, while doing household chores, you can just hear 1 chapter every day. And this way you get the bird's eye view of entire Srimad Bhagavatam. And then once you get that, then, and you can spend more time reading purports as well. Or otherwise you can decide, in January, I focus on 1st canto, in February, 2nd canto. There are, 12 months, and then 12 cantos can be read. Only the translation I'm saying. Some, please take some kind of vow, or some kind of, some system, please introduce. Unless until we put a resolution, we will never going to do it. So it's a good idea to include Srimad Bhagavatam daily. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam daily is very beneficial. It will give us the inner strength to deal with the situations in this material world. Okay, I'll stop there. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.